Hello, good morning, chat. Where's my... There I am. Hi! Good morning, or good whatever time of day it is for you. I hope everyone is having a good day. I've had a little bit of a morning. I slept in today. I overslept. And so my ability to be productive and get stream ready to go to this morning was drastically hindered by the fact that I was very tired. I will progressively wake up a little bit, we'll get there, but it's just been a bit of a few days. I hope you're excited, though. We're painting Pokemon cards today. I certainly am excited about that. I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger. I feel so small. I did this a while back, about like Halloween time. I did some Pokemon card painting last. And I feel like I still have one that's sitting there half finished that I haven't touched since. So we're definitely gonna revisit that, but I also brought a whole bunch of new duplicates that I have to give myself a little bit of new inspiration for the card painting. It's not gonna be like a super crazy upbeat, but we'll be chatting, we'll be painting. I'll probably be like locking in on painting a little bit, if I had to make a guess, so gonna be a very like calm vibes stream like that. Let me grab the cards out of my bag. I also bought myself a fancy new thin brush that should have a much easier time painting on the cards, which is kind of important because I noticed that that was my biggest struggle last time, was that it's just so hard to do the fine little details. So this brush cost me like $8. It's kind of crazy for how little brush hair there is in it. I'll show it to you guys in a few minutes. I'm just trying to get myself situated here. Yeah. I have like a big bunny stuffed animal on my lap right now. It's not really a stuffed animal, it's kind of a pillow that has bunny ears on it. But it's here for my comfort right now because I'm still really tired and I'm like, I just want something on my lap. So that's there for that. I made myself matcha, so slowly, hopefully the caffeine will enter my system and I will feel a little bit better. Let me take you all down to the desk. We can do some housekeeping, aka I'll show you stuff that I got for my desk this past week. Because I got something... Oh, that's just pointing at all my painting supplies. Let's bring you over here. And there's thread on my desk. Let me get rid of the thread. That's from working on the Miku costume last week. Whew. I feel like I should have cleaned my desk better. A little bit of a state right now. There we go. Okay, now we're back to like normal desk view, and I'll bring my mic back to me. Anyway, so what I bought, well, I didn't buy, Saucy bought for me, but what we bought last week is a Miku figure. I have been like swearing up and down that I wouldn't buy a Miku figure until I had my own place, because I still live with my parents, for those who are unaware. Like the good little Twitch streamer I am. But I swore up and down that I wouldn't buy any Miku figures until I moved out, because I didn't really have anywhere to put them. But then GameStop had a punk Miku, and I love her. She is perfect. So I broke my rule for that, but it's just the one. I won't start collecting more until I move out, I promise. And you guys get to yell at me if I do end up doing that. So we have her. I love her little outfit. I love the little sucker that she comes with. She's very cute. So that's the update on my desk decorations. I have her now. Her stand is also really cool. Let me pop her back into place. Maybe I shouldn't have taken her out, but it's fine. There we go. Yeah, that's the Miku figure, so she's also hanging out on my desk with all my other stuff now. And then you can see behind her the Holy Grail, the teeny tiny little brush that will hopefully do a better job of painting Pokemon cards than whatever I used last time I was doing this. And then, of course, I have Pokemon cards. What did I Oh yeah, my trick or trade ones are in a drawer now. Let me grab those really quick. Hang tight, chat. The camera might wobble. So I also have this case of trick or trade cards from last Halloween and this poor Sprigatito that I never finished, so we'll probably finish this one today. It feels a little empty. I wanna do some painting over. So I also have all of these as options for what I could do, including a couple of these that I gessoed. I still really want to do the Umbreon, but it all feels a little bit Halloween-y, so I don't know how many of these I'm gonna do today. But yeah, those are those. I also have those available to use. But we'll go through my deck of dupes real quick. I'm gonna change my music also, so we don't have to listen to Robot Synth on loop as much as I like this song. Let's go back to just my normal playlist. It's like, why is it so quiet? It's because I had the little sound thing on YouTube turned way down. Okay, there we go. Alright, that should be all good. So, for actual Pokemon cards, we went over the Sprigatito already. So I have this chunk that are just out of the archives, out of my boxes of Pokemon cards, ones that I had duplicates of. They're gonna be from a ton of different card series, and I cannot tell you which each of these came from. I like this card, but this card's really good. Some of these are more exciting to me than others, but really I just gathered up some of the ones that I knew I had dupes of. I like this Rockruff card. I'd like to paint that at some point. I don't know if it's going to be today. I'm showing you a lot of cards. We are probably only going to get to a few of these, but you know, these are the options. This Chatot is pretty cute. I know I have like 5 of this seal card. I should have brought more. I like this Luxray, but I am not confident in my ability to render that lighting. Pincurchin, and then you may have seen this Volcarona in my sketchbook. I have, I think, 3 of this card, but this is the one where I used one of the holographic cards in my sketchbook and then immediately got this one after I did that. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I do have another one if we want to paint it. Don't worry, I didn't bring any holo cards today. No foils. And then this chunk, this thick stack here, and this is where some Pokemon card people might be a little upset-o, but I promise they're going to good use, and they're all duplicates, and none of them are rare. These are all Prismatic Evos cards. So I've got Larvitar, we got a Great Tusk. I think the way these card effects are done on the ancient ones are really cool, so I don't know if I actually want to paint over that, but there it is for our consideration. What I do really want to paint is the Riolu card, because look at the sky! I want to try that. Noyvet. Got a cool looking Suicune. I really like this Applin card. I think this is the most I've ever liked a Goldeen. And the Sea King is really awesome too. A lot of the cards from this series are just phenomenal. I got a Screamtail. Silly guy. I was really excited about the Baniri card. I think we're gonna have to paint the Baniri today. I love this little dude. The Dusclops, Houndour, Slowpoke. There we go. Duskull. I've got some more Halloween-y ones even in here too. Currently I just have a lot of spookies. Got a Cottony and I have a Dracloak. I think the Dracloak might have to get done too. I have a feeling we're going to be painting a lot of Prismatic Evos cards in our near future. But I don't want to hold you guys hostage for too long here, so we should probably get started. I'm kind of procrastinating. I feel a little weird about painting, but let's put down like some paper or something so I don't completely ruin my desk. This desk is old, so it's not like a huge deal if I get paint on it, and obviously I already have, but... I feel like I should put... Here's the paper I used for the paint last time. This one is a little bit Halloween themed, so I'm just gonna flip it over. There we go. And now no one knows. So I think the problem last time that I did Pokemon card painting, my camera setup wasn't great and I kept like just wobbling my desk like crazy. Or like desk or the camera, or I think it was like a combination of both because it was a little hard to watch. The footage wasn't my favorite to go back through and look at. So my camera situation is a little bit better now, right? I can shake my desk a bit and the camera won't go crazy because it is just simply not mounted to my desk anymore. So we're gonna see how that works. I'm going to tape everything down because I don't want things to move while I paint. So let's do that, and we are going to do the Sprigatito card first. We're going to do a little warm-up by finishing what I started, like, I think that one I did in November. And I'm kind of excited to see if I've improved, how I've improved. I feel like I'm a better painter than last time I did cards, but I also haven't been painting landscapes. So we'll see. Let's get this dude down first. The paint's like coming off the edge of the card there. I definitely want to revisit the foliage in the front. Like that's a little bit of a mess and I don't know how I feel about it. So we're definitely going to get to that. I don't know. There's definitely some changes I want to make for this one. So let me get a little comfier in my chair and we'll stick this dude to the desk. I'm also going to zoom in a little bit. I feel like Pokemon card painting is one of those ones where you gotta get like real nice and comfy. Nice and close. Hey. There's the Sprigatito. Let's go closer. I'll have to... Oops, that was a little bit aggressive. I'm gonna have to adjust my camera's focus settings for you guys here, because I want you to be able to see Sprigatito in stunning clarity. I think that's as close as we're gonna be able to get it. Okay, let's do a quick little... I'm also gonna... So now I was feeling like my VTuber was too far away, now I'm too close. That's probably a happy medium, right? Okay, webcam... And let's just focus in a little bit. Yeah, so that's too far. Trying to find like the nice happy medium, like right there, I think. Beautiful. There is Sprigatito. All right. And now for the scary part, which is trying to actually paint the thing. Yippee. I think my VTube camera is in good angle. My mic in a good spot. We're just trying to get ourselves all situated so I don't have to worry about tech while also worrying about painting. Okay. I'm gonna actually do that like one notch that way. There. We're good. I'm giving a thumbs up, but you can't see it. And I'm gonna get out the palette here. My palette's a little bit of a mess, but I think that just means that it's well loved. A good painter's palette. I'm gonna peel some of the used paint off of it from last time I used it, because it's kind of in like a thick sheet. It'll come off pretty easily. I need to do better at cleaning my palettes, but I don't know. There's something fun about seeing all the paint build up. It's not like it affects the painting. At least in this state it doesn't. Okay, and I brought my palette knife too so I can feel fancy mixing the colors. Let us begin. We need lots of greens. There's gonna be a lot of lighting adjustments today as well so I can see everything as clear as possible. Definitely these leaves in the front need help. That's what's calling my attention right now, is that we need to make like a nice green for these leaves. So let's start with that. I suppose I'll show my palette. You guys can watch me color mix. I'm kind of running low on a lot of my paints, so luckily we don't need much for these. It's like just little bits because it's so small. And we're just gonna do yellow and progressively add little bits of blue to it, because I think otherwise I'm just gonna immediately make teal. And I'm gonna do that until I get like a suitable green, I feel. I may have gone too heavy with the blue there, but that's probably alright, right? I might add just like a tiny bit of red to it just to dull it. I honestly feel like the palette with the pots was not the best call for this. I should have brought like palette paper or something. Because mixing flat may have been helpful, but what can you do? It's here now. So, a little bit of color theory for those unfamiliar. When you're mixing paint, which paints are additive color mixing, which I honestly don't think I have the ability to comprehensively explain the difference between additive and subtractive mixing, but since paints are additive, you can add a little bit of the complementary color to whatever you're mixing to the color, and too much will make brown, but it'll kind of just dull it out a little bit if you add just a little. So let's work on these leaves. They need help. This brush, already so much better. Beautiful. I might need a bigger one for these leaves just because they're like so in the foreground, but I did really want to try out the new paintbrush. Okay, let's grab a little bit of a bigger one just to block out the leaves so we're not here forever. I just want to render them a little bit cleaner because you can see the leaves in the background here are so cleanly rendered, and these are just not that. We're definitely gonna need some brighter greens on here. This is looking a little bit too muddy. I always worry starting new ones with these. Like, I'm so scared of ruining my Pokemon cards. Hence the title of this stream. But typically they turn out okay. I trust my painting ability enough at this point that I'm like, I can probably do it. I trust that at least I have the ability to fix any mistakes that I might make. So that's a little bit comforting. Plus they're dupes, so it's like if I destroy one, it's really not the end of the world, right? I should probably take the price tag off the back of this, yeah? I don't need that anymore. If y'all are seeking updates, by the way, for those of you who weren't here last week, I was invited to a Halloween party by my coworkers. Yes, I know it's March. It was a Halloween party in March, and it was ridiculously fun. But there were costumes, obviously, because it was a Halloween party, and I decided that I wanted to do Miku, specifically the Punk Miku skin from Project Diva, and mostly because it matched what I had in my closet the best, but I decided to do that, and like my big goal with that was that I really wanted to win like the best costume contest. And update on that, I did win. And I'm very proud of myself. It was like my only goal of that entire night other than to, you know, just have fun because it was a party. So, very happy to announce that I did achieve my goal. My work was not in vain. I am actually probably going to be re-wearing that costume for, I'm going to be fancying it up so it's on like proper like cosplay levels, but I'm going to be wearing it for Comic-Con. So I'm excited. It was really fun. The big blue wig for it is just like, it's a lot, but it's so fun to have on because it's like so flowy and oh, it was great. I have a picture of that costume up on my Discord if you guys are interested. I do have my face visible in it, which is a little bit interesting. I think I was saying when I was talking about like, oh, I'll show you, but I'll have to figure out what to do with my face. I kind of decided that actually I just don't care that much. I will just show my face. Especially because like I had a wig and makeup on. You can't, it's not super recognizable what exactly I look like anyway. So yeah. I don't know. It simply doesn't bug me that much. Okay, let's make a little bit of a brighter green. I think I dulled it too much. And I think these, like, if we're saying the sun, oh, sorry, that is awful angle. If we're saying the sun is coming from back here, we would see mostly like the shadowed part of these leaves. So I think it's okay to leave most of them in kind of this dark color, but I definitely want the edges to start getting a little bit brighter. I think that's going to be important. Please keep in mind that I am not a painting expert. I hope no one comes in and tries to backseat me on painting. That's all I'll say. I should probably let some stuff dry, huh? I'll finish covering these up here. I want to figure out what to do on the roadway here. I definitely want some more color. Like, I think I want to do like some little grass peeking between like the rocks or the cobbles or whatever they are. I need to bring some shadow into these bushes here. And I want to brighten up those flowers a little bit so they blend in better. So that's a nice little to-do list there. What to do first? I guess maybe since I'm already working with green, we'll add a little bit of that grass that I said I wanted to add. I think that's probably an okay start. I'm gonna try and take such good care of this brush because of how expensive it was. I'm like, this is my precious child now. I need to keep it safe. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna just start a new green because this one has gotten muddied already. So we're gonna just make a new little... How does my cat's hair get into everything? We're gonna make a new little bit of green over here. I definitely want it to be a lot brighter to match all the stuff that the sun is hitting. So just like a tiny bit of blue in that. Oh, I got dry paint in it. Go away, go away. And here I was saying that it wasn't a big issue and it didn't actually affect anything. I'm gonna eat my words for that. Okay, I'm gonna add just like a tiny bit more green. Or not green, blue. I am... what, like 20 minutes in and I'm already forgetting my colors? This is promising. We're gonna just do like bit by bit, dot by dot. I think I went too far. I went too far. No! Okay, back with the yellow. This is how it always goes. I always end up with way more paint than I need. Okay, I like that. The very yellow green. I gotta blend the sky better in the back. I just noticed that. Okay. Well, first let's focus on adding a little bit of grass. This brush is definitely helping, but it is very thin, so we're definitely gonna need to do multiple layers in a lot of these spots that I'm adding detail to. But I do really appreciate having the ability to make these super fine lines. That is very good, very helpful. I think after stream today, I might actually work on some video editing for a while, which I'm excited to do. I've got a script all set, ready to go for the sketchbook flip through that we recorded a while back. Well, streamed slash I recorded it while we streamed a while back. So I'd like to get working on that. But you guys know what I discovered yesterday morning? My laptop is like almost out of storage space. I wonder how that happened. There are two major culprits, which I discovered. One is that it's for school, so I have a lot of really beefy school projects on there right now. Number two is that I kind of forgot how much storage storing like a ton of Twitch VODs takes. So I definitely need to get like some external hard drives for those suckers. But Yeah, that's the current situation. I was not happy about that, but I suppose it is what it is. Why are external drives so expensive? Like, that's crazy. We'll have to figure that out. Because I need to, well, I guess I have space, I think, for the footage still on my laptop, but I definitely need to store some of the other stuff, because I won't have space for long. I still have school projects to do. I might just need to buy like a USB drive or something small for now, and transfer some stuff out of there. And then worry about like getting a big, like a good hard drive later. Plan on getting an external bay, drive bay for our office. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Okay, I think the grass is definitely helping to liven things up a little bit. I don't know how much to do. I'm kind of just having fun adding the green. It's like a little box that holds hard drives and allows you access to all of them. Okay, that's neat. That's probably a good idea given the amount of data that I store. I was just surprised how fast it got filled up. Like, it's, I think, like 512 gigs of storage, and they're gone. They disappeared just like that. Just like a master at immediately eating all of the storage. I could also turn the potato computer into a cloud storage server. That's probably a good use for it. Being put to rest with an easier task. For those who aren't familiar, the computer that I stream off of we refer to as the potato computer because it sucks. We're really just making do with what we've got for now, but this thing is old and bad, and we literally had to drill, well, I didn't, but I say we, it's the royal we. We had to drill holes into the side of it in order to, you know, let it have ventilation. Credit to ProTerra for the server idea? Okay, well, it's a good idea. This computer, as bad as it is, has served me pretty well, so I kind of feel bad just like completely getting rid of it when we get the new one built. I'm excited to show you guys, chat, what we've got going on for the new computer, even though I know very little about PC building. I picked the case. Saucy is very wonderful and has helped me pick pretty much everything else for it to make it run smoothly and for it to do the things that it needs to do in order for stream to be nice, in order for me to be able to draw on it, and all of that kind of stuff, so that's exciting. The grass is fun. I am really vibing with the grass here. We're definitely gonna need to get a little bit more color on it, but it's coming along. There's a lot of like thin black lines around most of the detail, most of the leaves and stuff here. And I don't know if I actually brought black paint, so that might be a little bit of a problem, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I do have a black paint pen, but it's gonna be way thicker than any of that. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I'm gonna just add like a little teeny bit of darker green. And we're gonna do that on like the bases and like, yeah, just add like some little brush strokes to the edges of the grass. I did, when I started doing Pokemon card painting, like way back in October, I say way back, like it was 5 months ago, which in the grand scheme of things is not actually that long. But when I started doing Pokemon card painting, and I started scripting a video about, like, figuring out how to paint Pokemon cards. And, like, my hope was, like, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get, like, good enough that I can give some away to people. But now I'm, like, doing this, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm confident enough to actually give this kind of stuff away. I'm like, oh, if I'm doing it for someone else, it needs to be perfect, right? And also, giveaways are kind of hard to host. So I don't know, maybe it'll be a future thing when I figure out what I'm doing a little bit more. Or maybe I could just start. Maybe I'll get really good at it and then start selling them on Etsy. But that's definitely a leap away. Had Etsy on the brain lately though, mainly because I want an Etsy alternative, because Etsy has kind of gone downhill in the past few years. And that sucks, because it was like, it used to be really good. They used to be like fantastic. And now they're kind of not, which is really disappointing, because I don't know what to do now that like Etsy is not great. Especially because I wanted to start selling like a few things. Like I just wanted to do little like stickers or maybe keychains or something like that. And like my first thought of course is Etsy, but Etsy is bad now. So it's like either I have to find like a new platform that works similarly, but is better, or I get to make my own like store page, which maybe I just have to figure out how to make my own website. That's a down the road thing anyway, but I don't know, I've had like merch and stuff on the brain, I guess. I'll wait until I get the new VTuber model maybe to have proper merch, but it's a fun thing to think about. And generally, I think I maybe just want to sell a little bit of my art, less in kind of the merch department and more of like just, you know, selling art is fun. It wouldn't be like super channel related in that case. It would more just be like cute stuff I made that if you like cute things and art, you might also like. Again, that's a down the road thing. Do not have the resources to manage that at the present moment. I've been in such a mood about work lately. I've been having like little rants to a few people in my life about like, oh, I'm just like distressed over work right now. And the sucky thing about it is it's like, it's not like specifically like, it's my job, so quit your job, go find a better place to work. I'm just distressed over like the state of capitalism we live in. It's doing things to my head. And that I can't fix by moving jobs. But I've gotten myself so convinced, it's like, maybe I should just quit my job and pursue Twitch for like a few months, and then if it doesn't work out, then I'll go back to work. Because I'm very much one of those people who's like, I've never done this before, so surely I can do it. Surely I can accomplish it. Which, you know, great for confidence, doesn't always work out the way you hope, but, you know, it's nice. It's nice for some things. I love having confidence. So I'm very much, like, kinda... I think I'm just in a silly little mood where I'm like, give me, like, a few months to treat Twitch like a full-time job, and I will get somewhere with it, I swear. Unfortunately, that will not be happening right now, but maybe someday I'll get that opportunity. I'll take some time off and I'll just work on Twitch. We'll see. The very heavy we'll see. But, you know, in my nice little, like, fantasy world, that sounds really fun. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get these leaves to look exactly how I want them to. They're kind of a little messy. I maybe just have to start accepting that. Gonna do the little bits of details on them. We'll do some edges. I'm gonna need to do some light for sure. And I definitely will just mix some light into the green color that I'm using right now to get some of the better light effects that I'm going for, but just doing this as a little bit of a start. Okay, let's bring the white in. A little bit. Come on. You can't even see that, it's on the edge of my screen. There we go. I'm just trying not to take too much paint that I can't use. Sorry. I accidentally pulled my camera cord. That's my bad. Alright, let's just... I don't need any more of this color. Let's just add the white directly to it. Makes like a really nice olive green there. Try it like this. I'm just gonna gather up that paint on the edge of my palette knife, and then we can come in and try and make these little bright spots. Oh yeah, that pops better. I quite like this green color. It's very nice. Yeah. I think that's better. I like it. The leaves still are not going to be perfect, but at least I like the color that's going on to them. Do the edges here a little bit. I think painting Pokemon cards can be like really interesting style studies because you kind of have to look at the style that the card is rendered in and then try and recreate it in the parts that you render. So it's very interesting in that regard. And a lot of the Pokemon card art is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm definitely not against using this to help study, you know, rendering and backgrounds and all of that kind of stuff, because I generally just really need help with that. I am not great at that. That's what my little stream art camp this summer is going to be for. It's going to be very exciting. I'm still tossing around ideas for that in my head, but it is going to happen, and I am really excited to do it. Okay, those lines are looking a little weird. I think it's just maybe a little bit too clunky. Kinda is what it is now. I'm just doing this as a warm-up, so I'm not gonna try and stress too hard over it. The next one is a new start, a blank canvas. Well, not really a blank canvas, but kind of. Not really blank, but it is a fresh start. So it's okay. It's okay for this to be a little bit messy. Not everything I do is going to be perfect, and that is okay. We are back at it again with art affirmations. Maybe I will start doing these more often. Okay. I got another one of my lovely little sticker subscriptions recently, but instead of doing it on stream like I do sometimes, I just like recorded myself opening it at my desk, and I edited it into like a little like TikTok, YouTube short length video. I haven't posted it yet, but I think I will post it this afternoon, so we're gonna see how that format goes. Because I opened a bunch of sticker packs on there for Halloween, and people seem to like that. So we're gonna see if this one also goes over similarly, if people like me doing my openings there. And that is your PSA. If you want more me, I am on a whole bunch of different social medias, all of which are in my link tree through the socials link down below in the panels. I'm taking a brief pause to just blend the sky all the way down. There we go. It really just needed it. That little bit of gray was bugging me. I smell candle. Oh, it's because we have a candle burning. Okay. That'll do it. Smells nice. I'm gonna do a little bit of a white edge on these. See how that ends up looking. Just because they're in the very front. Sprigatito has like the tiniest little white edge above around it. I think part of the brush thing is that I have kind of shaky hands, so it's like my technique. It needs to be improved. But the thinner brush definitely helps, but doesn't do everything when I'm like heavy-handed and my hands are like shaking when I'm trying to do my lines. Cute. It looks pretty good. It's definitely not perfect, but I am like happy with it for a warm-up. Let's add a little bit more red to those flowers, and then maybe we'll move to the next card. Yeah, that definitely helps. I might even add just like a little tiny bit of pink in there to help everything pop a little bit more. Let's finish the layer of red first, though. I've noticed that when I render these out, there are certain areas where you do have to be really detailed, but with some of this stuff in the background, it's almost sometimes better to be a little bit loose with it and kind of let the brush strokes make up the image, as opposed to trying to cleanly render out every flower. At least for me, I've found that that is a technique that has been working. I know there are some people who have that like crazy ability to just render out every single little detail, but for me, I cannot. So I take a more like kind of impressionist route to it of just like trying to capture the essence of it in the brush strokes. It's pretty cute. I do like it. I don't think I have black. Let's see. I might. Hold on. I'm gonna lose tracking for a sec. Hold on. No, that's so tragic. I don't. A little bit sad, but that is okay. I can technically mix black. I just don't really want to. I could, I guess, also technically use my Posca pen if I really wanted to, like, cheat it. I could just, like, get a little bit of the paint on my palette, right? If I hold down, it dispenses more paint, right? It's not doing that. There's a little. And then I can use that. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Well, it does work for obtaining black paint. Oh, I think I'm too heavy-handed to be doing this. Even with like this teeny tiny little brush, it's still so difficult. I'm gonna do, I think the grass needs it a little bit too, right? I was just gonna like call it done, but I'm like, no, we gotta do the grass. It's a little heavy-handed for sure. I don't know. It's better than some of the other lines, but I'm like, it's still so thick. Like, maybe if you used like a line art pen instead of a brush, it might help. Because I have some that are super thin. I wonder if that would be like thin enough to do the lines for this. I think my paint on this one is maybe too bumpy, but I do have it with me, so we could try it for future cards. Yeah, there we go. It's definitely not bad. Good warm-up, I'll say. Let's give my brush a little bit of a rinse, and then we can pick out whatever we're doing next. I'm gonna do a little sprigatito off here. And find a place to set the card aside. Where am I gonna put? Put them on this shelf back here. Then I don't risk accidentally bumping into them and ruining the paint job. That's kind of important. Sorry. Hey, what do we want to do next? I've got lots of options. I'm feeling I want to do one of my Prismatic Evolutions cards. It just is a must. Oh, I definitely really want to do the Riolu. I just don't know if I'm confident enough to do it, like, right off the bat, you know? I'm pulling out just the ones that I really want to paint. This is gonna be a big stack because I have more over here. You can see the difference too between the newer cards and the older cards because these ones have the yellow edges. This one would be interesting to do, but I don't know how I'd do the rest of it. This one I just get to render clouds. I love this luxury card, but I don't know what I'd do for it. There we go. That's a little stack of ones that I really like. These are not all getting done today. But I think we'll start with Applin. I think that's what my heart is telling me to do, is to do Applin first. I don't know that I like the name of its move. What does spray fluid mean? I think some questions are better unanswered. Pokemon TCG has some weird move names. We're just gonna let them have their thing. We're not gonna question it. Okay. Now, my mistake. I did not remember to pack gesso for this little adventure today. So I don't know. How are we gonna prime these? I might just put some white paint on it and hope that that does an okay job of, you know, priming it. I mean, it's a similar idea to gessoing first. That's kind of just what gesso does. It's just a little bit cheaper. So I can just I'll just use a nice layer of white. Because mostly I just want to get a base down so that the paint has something to cling to. Because the card, like whatever coating is on the card, the paint does not like very much. So this coat is also kind of watery. You may notice it's because I want it to lay pretty flat. So we're gonna do a little bit of this just to get the thing all primed. I was just complaining about rendering leaves, and now I'm gonna do this one where it's just leaves and apples. But oh, I could start with Applin and do Riolu second. I feel like that might be what the plan is, because the Riolu card is like calling to me, but it is really pretty, and I'm really scared that I'm gonna mess it up. The apples just look so pretty, and I kind of want to see how I do at rendering them. I want to give my guy a nice big apple tree. We could put like another Applin down in the bottom corner. I could just have his little eyes. That'd be cute. I think I could probably pull that off, right? We're gonna do that. And it does need to dry, so I guess while it dries, why don't we prime the Riolu? Nope, I grabbed the wrong stack of cards. The Rockcraft 2 looks really fun. So does the Veneeri. There are so many of them that I want to paint. Ah! Stick with the Riolu. We'll just prime that one next, and then we can worry about the other guys later. I'm just gonna do the same thing while this dude dries. He's just gonna be over here. I feel like sometimes the priming it, doing the white paint layer first, makes me like, it gets rid of some of the attachment with the state of the original card too, so I feel less bad about putting paint on it, because it's like, that's already been done. The jump has already been made. From there, we just need to, like, take it back to looking really good. I think the more confident I am in myself, the better these turn out. So I just need to stop doubting my ability. I got green in that. Oopsies. That's okay. It's gonna get painted over anyway, right? I do love doing this because it's kind of just like making your own full arts. And I think that's neat. You get to have your own one-of-a-kind Pokemon cards. Alright, let's set this guy aside. I'm gonna actually put it in the same spot that I have the Sprigatito drying. Because I don't want to ruin it, even with just the white paint primer. The community is back. Welcome back from ads, everyone. We have an Applin primed, and it's just drying right now. I'm gonna take that opportunity to have a little bit of my matcha and probably some water. I should hydrate normally also. Since I did a really thin layer, it shouldn't take too long to dry. Which is good, because I always feel bad, like, just sitting here, like, Well, how was your day? And we're just waiting. We're literally watching paint dry. I mean, if you need water or a snack, now's a good time to go get it while we wait. I must tell you guys about my final projects for school as well. For those who are not familiar, I'm an illustration and character design major, and I'm coming up to the end of my second year right now. And our final projects are looking pretty cool, but also looking like a lot of work. And this is like just for my art classes. I have finals in like my more academic classes, which I'm also not super happy about, but they're fine. They'll be fine. One of them is open book, and the other one is not that big of a deal. So it'll be fine. But my finals for my current academic classes they're just two different iterations of a design class. One is more like figure oriented, the other is more like general design oriented. So for my figure illustration class, we do a set of 2 illustrations, and we can do any character or story we like, including stuff that we have come up with ourselves, so you know that I am doing stuff with my own characters. And that's gonna be really exciting. We're supposed to render one like all like bright and happy, and the other one like kind of distressed, gloomy, that kind of thing. And it's a really cool project, but it's like, oh, I gotta rush to get that done. Like, that's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna be fun to render. I'm really excited to do that one, and I think I've got a really cool concept, so I am looking forward to doing that. And then in my other class, the final project, and he has like explicitly said that this is like a more for fun kind of one. It takes some of the pressure off, but we're supposed to design a background for a video game. He wanted us to pick like a 2D kind of side-scroller kind of game, that kind of idea, just for simplicity's sake, so we can do like the very basic like foreground, midground, background layering. And again, like we can this one we aren't allowed to do like our own concepts, but we are allowed to pick any game that we'd like. And I said, you know what, I really like the rendering for the backgrounds in Cuphead, so we're gonna do a Cuphead background, and I maybe am regretting that decision, because it's hard to come up with new concepts, because that game already has like so many cool levels that I'm like, how can I top this? So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I could do one that's like set in like my little VTuber universe, for just a little touch of my own story. I think that'd be cool. Maybe I'll have to add that to my thumbnails later. It is mostly dry, not entirely dry. I'm rubbing the paint off of it. I'll stop touching it. I'll have to introduce that to my thumbs. That actually was maybe a really good idea. That'll be exciting. So I don't think I'll be able to stream the video game background one, but the character one I definitely will be able to, because that's going to be happening. I have a week after my classes end to finish it and submit it, which means that I don't have to worry about working a stream in between classes, and I can just stream if I want to stream. So that means that I can stream the whole like illustration and rendering process to you guys for that one, and I think that's going to be exciting. I don't get to do digital art on here a lot, mainly because my setup is not super digital art friendly, but I have gotten it to work before, so I think that will be a fun one, and I am looking forward to doing that. It's still not dry. I should have brought like a blow dryer or something with me, because this is currently taking a lot longer than I estimated it would. Hold on, let me just grab the card. I'm gonna just give it a little waggle over here. I'm just like waving it around and trying to get the paint to dry faster. This might be the solution. Good little arm workout for me. Did that help, like, at all? I think it actually did. It feels mostly dry. Okay, we're gonna call that good. That should work. The base coat is complete, and now we gotta figure out what to do. So what I am noticing, first off, is that there's a very simple background color here that, like, the entire card is done in. So I think if we build up that background first, that'll be the easiest way to go. The problem is that we are gonna need to perfectly match that color. It looks like a very pale, like, teal, leaning a little bit more green. So let's see if I can manage to match that. Color matching is always, I think, the scariest part of this for me, because I am not very good at it. But we're gonna do our best here. We're gonna need that, we're gonna need some blue, we're gonna need some yellow. Just put it up here. I guess I have a little over there, but whatever. It's fine. And we're gonna just mix. I want to do, like, just little tiny bits of color. See, I think that's already a little bit too much. Because I need this color to be very pale. And that's definitely too blue. So it needs to have... Did I seriously get black in it? Oh no. And I said that the dry stuff wasn't gonna affect it. It's fine, it's a clip moment. Let's do it in a different pot. Oh, that was probably ink and not paint. Yeah, that'll do it. Oopsies, that's what you get when you use your palette for multiple different mediums and don't clean it. That's my bad. Let me be your lesson. Don't do that. Don't do what I do. Plastic palettes are not expensive. I could just buy separate ones, but honestly, I don't know why I don't. The workings of my mind are a mystery even to me. Okay, that is definitely going to be too green, but I do know that it needs to be lightened up, so we're going to do that next. We're gonna make a lot of this color, which actually is okay. I think we need quite a bit of it. We're definitely getting closer to, like, the value range that we need for it, but it is still far too green. So let's add some blue. Okay. This is hard with, like, the little pots. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere with it. Still too bright. We need more white. It's gonna be back and forth like this for a while, just so you're prepared. Yay, color matching. We're getting somewhere with that. Alright, let's actually put it on a little bit. Oh, wait. I think I did that. I think I did it. You can't even see that on camera. Dang, I feel like all the TikTok videos where they, like, perfectly match the color. I'm actually really proud of myself for that. That's awesome. Yay! Oh, my skills are getting better. Alright, let's paint. Let's add the color. I'm gonna make sure my brush is nice and clean so I don't actually accidentally have other stuff sitting in there and mixing into the background. We're definitely gonna need to do a couple coats of this, but the white will help. Look at that! Looks so good. It's actually doing a lot better job of is that how that sentence is supposed to be constructed? It's doing a much better job, there we go, of covering things than I thought it would. Like I thought it would definitely be much thinner, but no, good coverage. Good job. Good job, paint. You're doing fantastic. And so am I. I am doing great. I have no reason to worry about ruining my cards. They are gonna look fantastic. As for this counting as my sketchbook for the week, I don't know exactly how we're gonna go about it, but I do want to incorporate these into my sketchbook. And the idea I kind of had was making my sketchbook look like a Pokemon card binder, which is a little bit like artsy craftsy, but I think I could make that work. I should maybe see about ordering like just some basic Pokemon card sleeves, and then putting those into my sketchbook and like actually making it a binder for a few cards. Like that'd be cool, right? I'm trying to not paint on the image too much because I don't want to make more work for myself. Honestly, that paint covered great. There are only a few spots that really need touched up. They're mostly just on the parts where there's like text. The paint refuses to be flat, but it's fine. There, I think, is some charm in knowing that it's hand painted, so we'll just say that that was intentional. It's part of the style. Look at that. I think it looks really good. The color's pretty close, obviously, because you can see brush strokes. It's not, it makes it so it's not a perfect match, but we can kind of like work the color in a little bit by doing this and trying to avoid the applin. But yeah, if we work that onto the frame, that looks pretty good. I think that looks alright, right? Pretty good, pretty good. This little, you can never see the hand gestures I'm doing, but I promise you I'm always doing hand gestures when I'm talking. So if I'm not holding a pencil or a brush, I am talking with my hands. We're gonna have to peel this one up and whip it around a little bit as well, aren't we? I definitely should have brought a hairdryer. I think that would have been a really useful tool to have. A little bit of the paint is peeling up, but I'll deal with that later. I want like the grand majority of this card to be dry. Yeah, that's not fun to watch. I was like, maybe I should show you what I'm doing, but it's not fun to watch. I got another thing for my desk, by the way, in addition to the Miku. This one's a little harder to show, but I might put it up on the Discord or something. It was at Walmart, and I found they had a Koopa Paratroopa plush, like a Mario one, the Koopas with wings. And it has like a little string on its head, so you can hang it from somewhere. So we hung it up like right above my desk, and every time I look at it, it makes me really happy. So if you see me like randomly looking up, I'm looking at that. That's what I'm staring up at. I'm looking at my little dude because he makes me happy. I've got so many trinkets at this desk now. I am truly thriving. I need trinkets to feel happy, I think. I think I am maybe part crow. Or something like that. I'm so sorry for not thinking to bring a hairdryer or something. This is a little rough. Maybe we try and prime the Riolu card while this dries. This one's gonna be a lot harder because it doesn't really have like a base color that we can paint everything. Let me actually show you the card, maybe. Yeah, this one I'm not going to be able to do one clean background layer for. That's going to take a lot more work. So maybe we just prime a few more cards while we wait, so at least I'm doing something. What other ones do I, like, definitely want to do? I have an answer to that. It's Rockruff and Baneri. We'll add those guys onto the little painting pedestal. Put them on the stage, and I'll just do the, whoops, I'm kind of running out of white. I'll do the priming in white paint for these guys. I cannot promise you that I will get to all of these today, but I will try and not wait 5 months before finishing them. Okay, brush looks mostly clean. Let's prime the cards. And these ones are nice because I won't need to wave them around. They can just go on the shelf and dry naturally. But it'll be nice setups because then we don't have to wait for the white to dry when we go to actually paint them, whenever that is. If that ends up being a longer stream or not. Or if that ends up being later today. And then I was gonna say that I might do a longer stream. There we go. My brain is functioning, but functioning out of order today, it seems. Maybe that's just because I'm tired. Maybe I did it to myself. I could probably, like, mask off the pictures that I'm, like, trying to paint around, but I think if I'm, like, painting the edges, if I'm painting and kind of incorporating the painting into this anyway, it doesn't matter that much, right? Very pretty. Okay. That's nice and primed. Let's put it on the drying shelf. Touching up the edge a little bit. Onto the drying shelf you go. And now it's time for Baneri. I don't know how you guys feel about Baneri. I absolutely love this little dude. He's very cute. I love rabbits, so I'm kind of a sucker for this. But I think we only have a few rabbit Pokemon, which is, like, more than some animals get, granted. But, like, the rabbits that we have, and I'm not saying I don't love most of them, but the rabbits that we do have, you either get, like, a furry, you can have Lopunny or you can have Cinderace. And obviously their pre-Evos are adorable. Or you get a Bunnelby, and I don't like Bunnelby. I started liking Lopunny, like, ironically, because I thought it was funny to tell people that I liked Lopunny. But genuinely, I think it's a really cute Pokemon. I don't like it for, like, weird reasons, I promise. I just think it's cute. But Game Freak knew what they were doing with that one. Like, there is some things in the design that, like, you cannot convince me that this was not, like, intentional. And then Cinderace. I love Cinderace. I know people are kind of, like, mixed on him, but I think he's very cute. And Scorbunny, of course, is precious. Scorbunny was definitely my favorite Galar starter. There we go. Baneri is also all ready to go. This is just a super cute card, so I'm very excited about it. I'm excited. I'm happy that I had a dupe so I could paint one. Because this was one of the first ones I saw when I opened my card box. I'm like, oh, please tell me I have an extra of it. I want to paint it so bad. And, like, they're my cards. I could just paint it even if I didn't have it. But I don't know, having dupes of them makes me feel better about putting paint on them. I think if I didn't have a dupe, I'd feel, like, devastated. Okay, Applin's all dry. Get him stuck back down. And I'm immediately gonna touch up the little spot that I put my hand on. And we'll just work on the bottom part first. So I think we kind of have to figure out these branches first. And the first thing I'm kind of noticing with them, if I put my head really close to the page, is they're not really actually brown. They're kind of purple. So, I mean, we're just gonna have to mix a base color for them, and I'm feeling like instead of immediately making purple, I might lay down like a bit of a magenta as a base. So stay with me. I think this is gonna work. So I have like this nice pinky magenta color mixed, and we're gonna use it kind of like a sketch to just figure out where the rest of these branches are off to. So the way I look at it, I'm kind of doing like an underpainting right now, and then we'll build the blues on top of it. It'll have like this little bit of a warm undertone that I think will make it look more like a tree branch. At least I hope. Undertones don't work quite as well on acrylic, but I'm confident that my paint is like thin enough that this will come through. Okay, so that's like the big branch. I think I'm taking it like the center of the tree is over on this side. I think that's what it looks like to me. Have that there. I'm gonna need to like hard focus to get these to be what I want them to be. For sure. Okay. Do that. I maybe should have blocked out the apples first, because I think the apples and the leaves are I'm gonna do yellow as my base for. But that's fine. I can paint around stuff. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Then this goes kind of up the side here. It's so hard to like keep stuff looking natural when you're also trying to be really detailed and thorough with the painting. Okay, there's like a little twig here, and I'm gonna treat it like it's just kind of sticking out from the side of this branch, like it's branching off. That's just what it's called, I guess. I don't know, it sounds like I'm trying to make a bad pun, but I think that is genuinely just what you call that, right? That's why it's called a branch, right? I don't know how words work. I've got that little bit, and I definitely want to have like one more big branch kind of coming across here, because I want another little applin down at the corner. So we're gonna do like this. I'm gonna kind of leave just a slight gap there, so I remember that this branch is supposed to be going behind that branch. Because otherwise I will forget and I'll get really confused as to how it's supposed to work. I promise. I promise that I might even get confused even with that like little denotation. Bring this down to more or less down in the corner here. Make the base of the branch thicker because I'm gonna add some more bits on it. Kind of starting to run out of this magenta color, but it is nice. It's very eye-catching, right? I think it is working, at least for the purpose of this being like a pseudo sketch. We'll see how it looks when I actually put more paint on top of it. I know some people who are just like absolutely incredible at painting, and I'm like, I want to steal your skill, but I don't even I can't even begin to understand how you do what you do. I feel like that with a lot of mediums. I look at other people's work with it, I'm like, how? Like, I understand the gist of how it works, but like, it's definitely not my expertise or anything. If I see stuff like that, I'm just like, what? I'm kind of just not thinking about the branches here, which I think is the way to go for making stuff look natural. Nature kind of just does what it wants, so kind of just let my brain decide how it's supposed to look, right? I think that looks pretty good. That looks pretty branch-like, if I do say so myself. Ugh, my throat feels really dry this morning. Not a fan of that. And I'm gonna try and make this like warm yellowy brown there. It's not really brown. It's got like a little bit more, what do you call that color? Like ochre to it? Which I think I straight up just have a yellow ochre. So I might be able to just like skip a few steps and use that and just lighten it up. I think that'll be close. I just toss that there. And I'm just gonna add some white to it. Sorry, that is off camera. It definitely needs the white. I might actually just take some of that and move it over here into the puddle of white that I already have going. I made way more than I needed to, but I think this is gonna get us close. I think, once again, I think pretty spot on. I might add just like the tiniest little dip of yellow to it. I don't know how much that's even gonna do, but there it is. I think that's a good base. So let's pick out where all the rest of the apples are gonna be now. And of course the other applin. First I'm gonna fill out the rest of the apples that are kind of cut off by the frame. And this is like the same thing. I'm gonna build up the brush strokes on top of this. Although in the case of the yellow, you're actually gonna have some of this show through, which I think is gonna be neat. I don't think I've ever painted an apple before in my life. I've drawn one. I've done like still lifes, like the very stereotypical still life where you just have to draw like a bowl of fruit. I've done that. But never have I painted an apple. I've drawn a lot of apples. So maybe I'll be able to get like the texture of the apple skin a little bit more accurate since I've observed them before. I also have lots of references to go off of in the page. And the little stump will be like up there. Okay. The apples are mostly on like this side. So we're gonna try and follow that when I add my own, but let me finish rounding out these apples. Maybe these would be fun processes to speed up for shorts or TikTok. Whatever your preferred viewing media is. I don't judge. There we go. Looking fun. Why is it like exactly the color of an Arizona iced tea can? I'm like just noticing this. You guys see it, right? That's what it looks like. Okay, so the little applin I just kind of want like peeking out in the corner here. Mostly because I don't want to have to try and bother making this Pokemon look exactly how it looks. So I feel like if I just do its eyes, I can handle that at least, right? That's already super cute. I like it. I'll have to figure out what to do for the eye color there. But let's add a few more apples, because I feel that it would not be complete without them. We'll put one over on this edge, so maybe like this branch is being weighed down by an apple. I actually have an apple tree in my backyard that I always like forget about until like it's fall and I look outside and there are apples on it. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Although it hasn't been doing great the past couple years, which is a little sad. But I feel like the years that it does do well and we get a ton of apples from them, we just have like boxes of apples in our garage. It's like, okay, what now? If I was more proactive about it and had a little more free time, maybe I'd make them into like a pie or something like that, but I feel like I always say like, oh, this is the year I'm gonna actually like use our apples from our apple tree, and then it just doesn't happen. Because they're definitely not the best like munchin apples, they're definitely a little bit more of a tart apple, though they're better I think in desserts when you add some sugar to them. But, you know, never get around to baking them. I think a bunch of them end up getting frozen or given out to other people, which is okay too. Maybe it's a little bit morbid that I'm talking about like baking apple desserts while I'm painting the Applin card. There's a Diplin card from this line, or from this series in Prismatic Evos. They have a bunch of them that are taking place at like a little carnival or a fair or whatever it is, and this one is no exception, the Diplin card, because it's a little Diplin hiding in like a cluster of candy apples, and he looks so anxious. It's really cute, but like I also like, I'm like, oh no, that poor guy. I don't have dupes of that one, otherwise I probably would have painted one, but maybe I should have brought it to show you guys, because it's a good card. I'm a fan of that one. Then we're gonna do this one smaller, because it's in the back. And then the leaves, I might even go for like a blue undertone on the leaves. We're making it nice and easy. Everything's got like its own thing going on, so I have different colors to use as the bases. Thank you, Pokemon Company. Well, I guess thank you, specific designer that designed this card. What I want to do first is try and render out, well not render out, block out, that's the word, the eyes of the other applet. I'm just gonna lighten slightly one of the greens that I have on my canvas or on my palette already, because I think at least as a start that's good. It's definitely a little bit yellow, but I'll build on top of it, so that's fine. And we're just gonna try and like copy the other applet. Yeah, that's definitely gonna need more blue in it when I go to fix it up, but still looking pretty cute. This card, despite being very green, has a lot of blue undertone to it. A lot of blue mixed in with the green. It's nice. I like it. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about getting like a super opaque color here. Because I'm just gonna paint on top of it anyway. Okay. The eyes kind of come out of there. Applin's just, or not, Applin, that's what I'm painting. Applin's just a weird little guy. I like him. I like that they made him and then they immediately gave him a ton of different forms because they're like, oh yeah, people are gonna love this little dude. And then we did. And also, once again, according to the Pokemon Company, still more of a dragon than Gyarados. There we go. He looks a little bit funny right now, but like, we see the vision, yeah? Those are gonna be eyes. I feel like I'm doing so much prep work for this one. I'm really thinking it through. I don't typically do that. That's crazy. Okay, let's get a little bit of a teal going for... Let's steal a bit of my background color and mix it with the blue here. I should take my paintbrush out of my mouth so you can understand me. I have like a very bad habit of just always holding things in my mouth, and I'm like, I maybe need to stop that. It's so convenient. Okay. There's a little bit of blue. I'm sorry, I did that off camera, but just the easiest spot I had to mix. So there's a bit of the blue undertone, and we're gonna block out some leaves. This one doesn't have super dramatic lighting or anything, which, as much as that looks phenomenal when they do it, I kind of appreciate it because it means that I don't have to try and figure out how to paint whatever lighting they're trying to do. So that part's like a nice little treat for me. I get to just worry about like rendering stuff out without having to think about weird lighting. What is going on with that leaf? Cannot tell at all. Nope, it's certainly not that. It's kind of like that, I guess? I don't know, man. I just work here. Okay, I think those are all like the pre-existing leaves. And the thing with them is that some of them are like really faded in the background, so I think maybe I'll only block out like the leaves that I'm gonna render a little bit more clearly. I say that as I immediately do one that I think is actually gonna be in the background, but I'll try and think through that when I pick out the leaves. Try and keep the shape more or less consistent, right? A little bit of that. That. I'm like so paranoid about my connection and my like dropped frames now. Like I keep checking it. Just because last stream my computer decided that the phone that I have plugged into it to do my tracking for my VTube model decided that that was a router and it needed to try and connect to it. So I'm paranoid that it is going to do that again. And yeah, stream didn't like that, if you were curious. It really messed everything up, and it's very annoying because I couldn't get good clips from stream last week because all of the footage sucked. So I'm still a little bit angry over that. I like how I was just struggling with leaves on Sprigatito's card, and I'm immediately going back into it like, you know what? Let's paint more leaves. I think it'll be fine. These ones are a lot smaller, so the details and the imperfections don't stand out as much. There. It is looking pretty good. I like it so far. Definitely the composition is starting to come together. I think we'll actually do the apples first. I'm kind of approaching this with a watercolor mindset, weirdly, where I'm doing like the lightest colors first, but I think we are gonna do the apples first. Just because that's what I feel like doing first. I'm kind of like running out of room for paint on this palette. I'm gonna just put this over here. I technically have another one I could use, but I think that one is even more dirty than this one, so... Yeah, I need to make this, like, slightly orange. Not super orange, just, like, slightly orange. I guess that takes a lot more yellow than you really think it does, right? But... there we go. And then, like, just a touch of white. Okay, that maybe was too small of a touch. A little bit more. Yeah, the color that is on these apples is definitely a little bit more of an orange than it is a red. Yep, that's the color. And yes, it is orange. Love color theory, don't we? I had a whole debate with Saucy about a set of dice, about whether they were orange or red. Because of but like, the reason it was so tricky to like actually figure out what color they were was because they were with like a really deep teal blue. So it was hard to, like, because of like the surrounding colors, I think it was shifting our perception of the hue. So I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, I still don't really know what color it is. It definitely looked more red to me, but I don't know if that is because of the colors that were surrounding it, like what's happening with these apples. Color theory is weird, man. I don't get it. If I have to paint the apple orange, I'm just gonna paint the apple orange. I don't know what to tell you. I might bring like a little bit of red back into it. It might be a little too orange, but for the most part it's looking pretty good. The nice thing with these is it's okay if a little bit of that base color shows through. Kind of just part of doing the painting. Okay, we'll leave that for now and then we'll come back to it because I'll definitely want to do some layers. And yeah, down at the bottom we want to leave it a little bit more yellow. There we go. It's starting to come together. I'm starting to see it. Got ads starting right away by my countdown at least. Just so y'all are aware. There we go. That's super cute. I like that. And then I need a different color from the apples for the applin. Like it's a slightly different red. You see that, right? Oh, I'm supposed to hydrate. I'm gonna finish painting this apple and then I will, I promise. I just have paint on the brush right now, so I'm gonna use that. A good reminder though, thank you. I haven't had water in a bit. A nice cozy morning thus far. I am still in my pajamas for anyone who was wondering. So I've just been having like a nice calm cozy morning. Doing some painting. Which honestly, that's kind of the life, isn't it? Right? Like getting to just like wake up, chill Sunday, be a little creative. I don't know if that's everyone's dream, that's mine. I think it's part of why streams are so fun. There's the apple. I will have some water, and y'all should also have some water. We've got an ad break running right now anyway. I might use that opportunity to go take a washroom break. Because I've been sitting for a while. Get up, stretch my legs a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's like 2 minutes left in the ad break, so I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes or less. You guys should also get up, do whatever you need to do. I will be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, hello, I am back. Hope we all had a good little impromptu break there. Okay, let me hop back to it. Let's do some apples. I'm gonna add like a little bit of red to these. But I think it needs to be like a little bit of a pinkier red. Like it's definitely a little bit of a light red, which is, it's so hard to make like a light red without crossing the line into this is just pink now. So we're gonna do our best. And I swear there is a difference between light red and pink. It's just very subtle. So we're gonna try at least to make a little bit of that. A little bit of the ochre might help. Maybe? Yeah, actually that totally does help. Absolutely what we need there. There. That's a very apple-y color, right? Can I bring you any closer? Oh, I totally can. Look at that. I've had you so zoomed out. It's like you could have been closer this whole time. There. You don't really get to see my palette, but I think that's okay. I think you're in the more interesting part now. I don't know if the camera is even picking up the little bit of red that I'm adding, but I promise it's like important and it matters. Ugh, I don't know how to get my brush strokes like super fine the way that the little details are. And I know these are not necessarily painted always. I think a lot of them are like digitally painted anymore. So they have the ability to get those like super fine strokes without even having to use a paintbrush, but still I know there are people that can actually like paint that thin, and I would like to be able to do that. I think I might need a brush that's like literally a single hair to do that though. That color, I think, is pretty good. I don't think it made a single difference on the video, but I can see it. My webcam can only pick up so much in the way of color. Sometimes it struggles a little bit. We're just doing our best here. Me and my webcam. And up top. I think that's looking pretty good, right? The color I think is like slightly different from the apples, but overall it's pretty good. It just needs some more detail in there, which I'll add actually with the yellow. I'll go back on top afterwards and I'll add. And now for the branches. The branches have like a lot of little blue highlights in them that I want to capture, but I will have to do that, I think, after I lay down this base coat, which is more of like a deep purple. So let's try and mix that. I think having the magenta down beforehand is gonna help this come through a little bit better, but we're gonna see. Purple is just a hard color to mix. Fortunately, this is like a pretty deep purple and a pretty muddy purple too. So I'm kind of okay to just like slap a couple of colors together. And it'll be pretty close. And I think that is pretty close right there. Let's try that. Yep, that's pretty spot on. We're gonna do that, and then I will come back on top and add some of those details. But let's get that base coat going. Oh yeah, and I almost immediately forgot that this was like a background branch. I'm gonna lighten the color a little bit for that, because it seems that like that's how they're doing the background on this one. The background colors are kind of like fading into this kind of mist almost, if that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good, at least for a base layer. It's definitely a lot warmer than the branches look, so we're absolutely gonna need to come in with the blue and some white after. But for a start, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a nice color too. And it definitely looks brown in context. There's that. That's a good base right there. And here too. Over here, I think definitely needs to be a little bit lighter. I'm gonna mix some of the accidental blue-gray that I made with the brown, which I know you can't see, just trust me, that's what I'm doing. See, it did end up having a purpose after all, and I'm actually gonna end up blending it, I think, here a little bit too, to lighten up some of those patches of the branches. Good stuff, that was definitely much needed. Makes it look a little bit closer to the actual color even before we add some of the blue. I just like having a variety of colors in kind of the spots that I'm painting, so it always looks good. There's always, even just in real life, there's always like subtle bits of extra color to a lot of things, so I think it helps to have that in painting too. It just gives it more visual interest, more visual flavor. Nummy. I don't know why so many people like say like yummy and delicious to art stuff, but I am so guilty of doing it as well. I'm like, I don't even know where it came from. It's just like from the depths of my soul at this point. I'm telling people that their art looks delicious and I want to eat it. Maybe it's just because I'm surrounded by so many other art people, the brain rot is starting to get to me too. I'm kind of okay with it, it's fun. Gotta paint around our other little friend down here. And I want the branches that are like closer to kind of where our imaginary camera is positioned. I said that really weird, positioned. I want those to appear a little bit darker, where I want the ones that kind of, as they fade out into the distance, I want them to go to that kind of lighter shade. That's what the goal is here. A little bit of a way to portray some depth without having to worry about like foreshortening and stuff. We just use the color to kind of fade it into the background. And I'm just gonna try and get that to do a little bit more of a blend there. That's not just a harsh cut. Okay. We'll do the same here. That lighter color. And then I'll bring the dark on top and we'll kind of blend. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I like it. I'll do the same on the lower branch. And the branches are looking pretty good, right? I kind of like having that little bit of pink. It looks very nice. Okay, let me look at the card again. So it is mostly little bits of blue highlight that we see here. So I am going to add those in. Something that, like, color family. And I need to go a little bit darker with it. I might actually be able to use, like, the straight out of the tube blue for this. It's always a win. There. So yeah, we have these, like, little bit of blues, and they're pretty subtle, so I don't want to add too many of them. But just along the top edges of some of the branches is where we're seeing them. Oh, this was supposed to come over top, or are we having it go behind? I cannot tell what the goal here was. I think we were having it go over top. Okay, let me add that real quick. Yeah, you can see, like, the little bit of magenta I had there. Okay. I think I will add some blue on the top edge of this one too to really make it, like, pop against the apple. Highlights and stuff like this, I always have to be so careful with because I have so much fun doing them. So, of course, I want to do lots, but, like, kind of what makes these things effective is how subtle and, like, scarce they are. You can't do too much because then, like, you just got blue tree branches as opposed to fun highlights. This one I did a little bit heavy-handed, I think. It's fine. We'll make it work. I always struggle with that. I feel like I always over-highlight my stuff because I have so much fun doing highlights that I kind of get lost in it. Okay, we're gonna do, like, little bits of white in there too. That does not look like a little. Okay, let me try and do just with the very, like, teeny tiny little point of the paintbrush. The smallest bit of paint. Okay, that's a little better. That's still really difficult. Ugh, I don't know how people manage this. Crazy. And we're back to being heavy-handed. I think especially on these light ones we don't need them so much because they're supposed to be faded and less detailed anyway. But on these ones, the darker ones in the front, there's, like, just a little bit of white to them. Especially around the edges. I should try and capture that too. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. Do, like, a little bit. This might be a better detail to add right at the end, actually, once everything's built up. So maybe I'll stop that for now. I should paint some apple stems, actually, too. Well, I've got the brown mixed. I definitely need to come back in on those apples too. They need some help. They need some yellow. They're looking real flat right now. So they definitely need a little bit of pink actually, and a little bit of yellow, I think. But I'm gonna try on this little apple in here. Gonna bring the red. I think that might even need a little bit of white added to it. Even a little bit more. Make it a little lighter. Because that top part of the applin is like kind of getting pinky. So I think we need to capture that here as well. Just add that right on top, and I think that's a little bit closer to the color we're going for. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Maybe we should do the eyes as well while we're here. Means I just need to take like my background color and add a little bit more bright green to it. Make it stand out a little bit more. But I am gonna actually take it and go over top of the vibrant green I've got right now, just so I have a little bit of a base there. I think is a good strategy, right? Okay, I don't need validation. I'm just going in. I'm just making my own decisions. I keep saying things like I'm asking for validation when really I'm like, no, I'm just being confident in my own choices. We're just gonna do it. And it's gonna be okay. And so far it has turned out, so I am liking this card thus far. Okay. Let's mix in a little bit of paint right now. I know it's off screen, I'm sorry. That's probably a little bit closer. Yeah, something like that is good. Let's go on and add that right on top. That might even need a little bit more saturation to it, but we'll see maybe when it dries, because especially colors like this have a tendency to dry darker. And the little bottom of the eyes. Oh, that's super cute. I like it. He's coming together. We can see him there. Okay, I'm gonna have a little sip of my matcha. Okay, and why don't we come in with some more of this like light yellowy apple color that I've got, and we're gonna just add some detail to these apples. Make it look a little bit more like apple skin. Because these apples are pretty rendered out. Like, you can see all the little like dots and stuff that apples have. So I think it is important for us to also capture those if we're trying to copy the style of the card. So that means I need to like hold my breath with the teeny tiny brush and use just the tip of it and hope that we can get half as good as those apples are rendered. Okay, so there are like the little dots and dimples. Oh, my lunch has arrived. Yay. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna finish up a few things here and then I'm gonna take a break for lunch. I have not eaten anything yet today, so I am very hungry and very excited to have my lunch. My lines and details of this are not going to be anywhere near as thin as the ones on the card. Like, it's so precise. So, again, I'm kind of just doing what I can here to scratch in some detail. Perhaps not my greatest work ever, but I am trying. You gotta give me credit for that, right? I keep almost going to render the applin out like it's an apple, and I have to remind myself, no. So its disguise is working, really, if you think about it. Yeah, we're gonna just maybe go back and forth with the yellow and the pinky red for a minute. Just to try and achieve a little bit of the detail that these apples have. I maybe shouldn't have chosen to do one with like such detailed rendering, but it's okay. One good. Okay. And I'm gonna try and get those like white highlights really like thin. Because I am just using pure white, so I'm trying to like definitely make them a little bit more transparent. I think there are certain points on these cards though where I'm like, I'm okay to just like let it be with like that's good enough, because it's more of like a practice for me than it is like I'm trying to make high art, especially these ones where I know that they're just going in my sketchbook. There are some times where it's like, okay, it is like worth my sanity. Like my sanity is worth more than a perfect apple on a card. I'm just gonna stop now. So we're starting to approach that point where it's like, yeah, they're good enough. And I mean, there's no law saying that I can't paint over these later if I decide that I want to fix them up a bit. And I think already for, like, the amount that I've painted fruit, which is, like, next to none, they are looking pretty okay. A little bumpy compared to the actual ones, but, you know, it's a start. Oh, let me replay my playlist here for you. I think really it's just like my brush strokes are still too heavy, even with the teeny tiny brush, although the teeny tiny brush is helping immensely. Okay, I was gonna like maybe do the leaves beforehand, but I'm gonna go take my lunch break. I shouldn't be too long, like maybe 15 minutes I'd say, but I am gonna go eat. And it's probably also a good time for you to take a break, get some water, a snack, some lunch or dinner, depending on what time it is for you. I am gonna run ads over the break, just so we don't have to deal with them when we're in stream. But yeah, I'm gonna hop over to the Be Right Back screen, so go take your break. I'll be back in a little bit. See you guys shortly. Hello. Thank you everyone for waiting. I am back. Let me unpin. Okay. We are now back. It still looks like an Arizona iced tea bottle. Like, I can't get over that. The green is just so, you know. So, I've successfully recreated that. That wasn't the goal, but like, you know, if they ever want to do a Pokemon collab, here's the pitch. Applin iced tea. Oh, that's me. Okay. Let's get back to it. Let me get my blanket unstuck from the wheels of my chair. That actually sounds awesome, like an Arizona iced tea Pokemon collab. It'd be fun. It definitely wouldn't be like the first Pokemon collab I would expect, but I think it'd be cool. Oh shit, I forgot to run my ads. Oopsies. Okay, I'm gonna run them now. Hold on. Before I get to Applin iced tea. Drinking the blood of the Applins. Just gonna clean off my brush. While I send people to the ads that I forgot to run. Okay. I guess maybe we'll get the green prepped while we wait then. There is a green that I have in a tube here that I think is actually pretty close to the color that I need, so let's save me some headache and just use that this time. And we're definitely gonna need some blue, because there's lots of blue in the colors in this. Let's try and darken it a little bit. Okay, I made it too blue. It's like just teal now. I'm running low on this green. I'm surprised I've used so much of it. I guess because I've been using it for Pokemon cards, I've had to make a lot of like plant greens. Okay. And this definitely needs to be darker, so we're adding a little bit of red into it. Bless me. I will just say it to myself. Okay, that green is getting closer. Let me show you. It's getting there. I think it's still too blue. I think it actually maybe needs some yellow. I think I maybe swung too hard in the opposite direction because I knew that everything was a little bit blue. Let's add some yellow. Not the same color, but we're gonna start with that and then build on it, I think. We'll do it like that. Alright, welcome back from ads, folks. Sorry that I forgot to run those on break like I said I was gonna do. That's my bad. Welcome back. Have you guys seen the news about the Lego Pokemon collab? Like, it's finally happening, they're finally doing it. I'm very excited about it, but I also, someone brought up a good point that I am now worried about. And it's that, like, with the state of Pokemon cards right now, right? Where people are buying them like they're stocks. The state of Pokemon cards right now. Do you think that scalpers are gonna get to all the Lego sets too? Because someone brought that up, and now I'm kind of worried, because I was like, oh shit, maybe. And I don't want what happened with Prismatic Evos to happen with anything ever again. Because that sucks. I say as I'm painting on a Prismatic Evos card. I was fortunate enough to be able to get some, but Like, I know so many people who wanted them, just probably are never actually going to be able to get them because of people just bulk buying them. There is no reason that you need, like, 20 Elite Trainer boxes, surely, right? But I don't know. Pokemon card collectors seem to disagree. Gotta catch them all, right? I don't know if you guys know, but there's also a new Pokemon card series coming out, like literally next week. It's called Journey Together. It looks really cute. It's a lot of cards of trainers with their Pokemon, and I'm excited because the cards look cute, but I'm also incredibly worried because I think that we might have another Prismatic Evos situation on our hands because there's just so much demand for Pokemon cards because of that series right now. So, I don't know. I don't know if the state of the Pokemon card community is ever gonna recover. It might be permanently broken. I think this really is just like turning into a very hellish year for average card fans. Which sucks. I don't know. I don't know if I want to have the whole Pokemon card rant again, but I am painting them, so it feels kind of appropriate. At least I'm on topic. I'm on theme. Okay. That's looking pretty good so far, right? I like it. And these are the ones that are going to be in the foreground, so I'm focusing on these first, and then we'll add all those, like, faded background leaves afterwards. We definitely need to, like, dull the color a little bit, so it needs a little bit more red, and I'm going to, like, use some white to fade it out a little bit, because it is too vibrant right now. There we go. I think that olive green is a little bit closer to what we need there. I'm sorry, I know you can't see this. One day I'll get a setup that lets you actually, like, see the color mixing while I'm painting, but today is not that day, unfortunately. I might need to wait for that to dry. That might help. I'm gonna do a big desk clean after I'm done here, I think. I think that is gonna be the move. Got a little bit of a yellow shine on the side of the sapling. He's pretty much ready for me to do his outlines, but I'm not going to do that yet, even though I'm very much excited to. I should wait, just so, you know, I can worry about detailing all the background and I don't have to, you know, get right up against that line when I'm painting everything else. Because then I feel like I'm just gonna ruin it and have to do it again. Alright, let's go back over the leaves. There we go, that's getting closer to the actual color that we want. And it is looking good. That's a nice olive, I think. I'm having fun. Feel so relaxed now. I had a good lunch. I'm just like chilling. I've got nice music. I've got paint. I feel like sometimes those are situations where my brain just like auto shuts off, which is not good when I'm trying to stream and, you know, entertain people. So I gotta try and like actually zone in, talk, chat, because that is at least part of what people come here for, right? Want to provide you with something to listen to while I paint, and I think the best something is the sound of my voice. I've been playing through Pokemon Diamond. I've kind of just been going through all the games, especially like ones that I didn't play, which I played a bit of Diamond as a kid, but like it was on my brother's save file, so it wasn't really mine. And so I've been kind of just revisiting that, and I caught a Shellos. I caught a pink Shellos, and it has taken this Pokemon from that I didn't like really think about beforehand, before I started playing it, to like up there in favorites. I love this little guy. He's so cute. I named him Jelly Donut because the thing on his head looks like jelly, and he's just such a precious little guy. This is, I think, why I stick so heavily to my rule of using teams that are specific to the region I'm playing in, especially for new games, because like otherwise, if you don't give them a chance, how are you gonna find new favorite little guys? So I always make that a goal for like my first time playthrough, is I use all Pokemon from the region, and in these revisits, I'm doing the same. I'm using all Pokemon from the region. I think that's why Nuzlockes are so cool too, although I don't know. I don't think I'd be a great Nuzlocker, but they're just good. They help you get attached to more little dudes, and I think that's awesome. Really in the spirit of Pokemon. I've been wanting to do playthroughs of Pokemon specifically. Other games too, but right now really Pokemon. I'm very like locked into Pokemon. I've been wanting to do playthroughs of that on the channel as well. And that's gonna have to wait until I get the new computer set up, just so I have a little bit of a better platform to run my totally legitimate Game Boy and DS. I'm gonna need to wait for that, but once I do, I want to do a little series of game playthroughs, and then like also painting, you know, like the little guys, and by painting I mean probably digitally, but painting the little guys, or scenes or whatever else that stand out to me from my playthrough. Oh, that was a really clean line. And then I want to turn them into like YouTube videos. So that, hopefully once I get my new PC built, we can start doing that, because I am so excited to do that. I think it sounds super fun. I think the people that watch me typically do have like some overlap with some game fandom. I mean, if you're here right now, you're probably at least somewhat interested in Pokemon, right? So. And definitely I make art about like fandom a lot, just like I try and foster fandom for the stories that I tell as well, which I need to get better at doing, because I'm like, oh yeah, the stories that I'm making, my prep for my comic is so cool, and then I don't talk about what my comic is. But you're not learning about it today either. That's not what this stream is about. I think the fine details on these leaves is so scary, but they're looking alright. I think they're better than my Sprigatito leaves still. They're just like so faint in the drawing on the card, so it's like you have to use like the thinnest hair at the end of the brush, right? Ah. Especially when I get on the ones that are like continuations of the card leaves, it's gonna be noticeable, man. It's okay though. Okay, we'll leave these. Actually, I'll get a little bit on the ones on the edge. There, that's probably okay. This is definitely like a hold your breath kind of moment. Ooh boy. I'm so scared of messing up. My hand is casting such a shadow right now. Oops. There. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's obviously not perfect, but it's not bad either. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to go back over those. Might just be like a case of the apples where it's just time to call it good enough. I think most of them are pretty okay. It's starting to get like close to complete, which is kind of crazy. We need to do these leaves in the background next, which are more faded and have like a lot more blue to them, at least in most of them. There are some that I think are a little bit more yellow, but let's do some blue first with the leaves. And the nice thing about these is that I don't have to worry about details. These ones are kind of all just silhouettes. That, and then this white has so many other colors mixed into it. I might just need to get new white. Yep. Because I just ruined that because I accidentally got red in it. That's what I get. That's what I get for being stubborn. Okay. White paint. And then we will add green to it. Mix that up. I'm doing this off camera. It's too hard to try and record. Adding blue now. Needs a little bit more green, so I'm mixing some green back in. I don't know, maybe this is as interesting as watching me mix it. Probably not. There, that's pretty close. Okay, maybe it needs like just a tiny bit more green. Like not very much, just a touch. I don't know if that even did anything, but I'm gonna choose to believe that it did. I'm gonna need to do, there's a little bit more blue up in this corner, but for the most part, everywhere else is in this more like kind of greeny blue shade. Bluey green. And these ones, I don't think I'm gonna worry about making as much sense. I'm just kind of trying to add some interest to the background, right? I really would like to work on getting my paints a little bit more flat. I don't know how people manage that. It's difficult. I think you have to paint in like much thinner layers, which is also difficult. I hate having to do like a million coats of one thing. I'm just gonna put like a matte finish on it at the end and try and get everything to look kind of cohesive. That'll be fine, right? This part is kind of fun. I'm just kind of choosing spots to put the leaf shapes in and just trust in the process on this part, really. I feel like I say trust the process a lot anymore. You can still see a little bit of the writing on it from before. So let's just cover that up with some strategically placed leaves. It's like when people put leaves over people to censor nudity, but instead I'm just censoring my text that I didn't cover up well enough. There! Okay, that's working! It's starting to look good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's looking pretty cool. Let's make some of like the darker kind of blue ones for the background. These ones there are definitely way less of, but they do still exist in the background, so I would like to capture them. See if I can figure out what color this is supposed to be. Like kind of appears up here. I think that needs more blue. Okay. Oh, there. That's a little bit darker. And then like through this corner, you kind of use that darker background, I think. That's what I've noticed at least. I'm gonna keep it pretty like loose and brushy so it still looks like foliage. Foliage is such a fancy word. I like it. I like saying it. Okay. And then I'm gonna pick just like a few extra spots to put these darker leaves just to give it a little bit more dimension. But yeah, I think especially on this side, like you can even see it in the background there of the card. We want more of this darker color. And I might add like one shade even darker still of blue to fill in some of the spots in there. Very aptly, it's very cute. I like it. Okay, let's make this a little bit darker. And add just like a few spots of that through here. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much done. I still have... I want to just come in and cover this big blue patch. I think that got a little bit strong there. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then same with down here. Okay, and then one thing I notice with this applin up here is that there's like a very thin kind of halo of white around it. And I think that I would also like to do that with my applin down here. So I'm gonna get a little bit more white. I am really running out of room on this palette. I might have to get the other one. And we're gonna just get like a little bit of white, and I'm just gonna paint around the edges. And then I'm gonna try, I think, my line art pen for this one. So we are gonna have to let the white dry before I add the black outline, but nothing else on this one has a black outline, so lucky me. That's a lie. I think the apples might actually have like a very thin outline. I don't think it's pure black, but it's pretty close. I'm gonna use my paint pen for doing the little pupils. I'll do like just a little black semicircle, and then I'll of course come back in with the white to add that the little white highlight right in the middle. I think we also got to get back to doing Fakemon at some point, because that was also fun. Again, I've just got Pokemon on the brain right now, so there's lots of that kind of stuff that I want to do. Okay, there's our little lad there. Let me shake up the Posca. And then I'm gonna add like, oh, this is the scary part. Here. And here. And now we just have to let those dry. Oh, I like it, it's really cute. And I actually want to use just like tiny little bit of white up here to make the eyes like a little bit shiny. I'm gonna try and like blend it in even though the color's already dry. Add a little bit of green to it so it blends a little bit better. There he is. There's the dude. I'm gonna grab that pen. I have to find it first. It's in my pencil case somewhere, so hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a search. This one. The 005 micron that I put right behind my head. There we go. That sucker. Okay, let's try it on, I guess, the apples first. Well, that's better than the brush. There. Okay. That's something. Let's do it on these ones too. I think that is kind of the answer there for doing the very thin lines. And I thought that this wasn't going to work super well over paint, but actually it's working pretty well. Still not perfect, but I'm definitely better at having a smooth hand with pen than I am with paint, so I consider that a victory. It's cute! I like it. Alright, let's outline our second applin. Oh, he's cute. I really like him. Aww. Look at him! What a little lad. Okay, let's add the little white highlights in his eyes. So he looks like a true Applin. He looks so silly. I'm really happy with that. The outline I did there is like a little heavy-handed. I'm gonna try and like just fade it back in a little bit. Like it's supposed to be pretty subtle, so... That's a little better, I think, at least. And there we go, that's the Applin card. Definitely not perfect, but I had a lot of fun with it, so that's important. And I think the little guy in the front is so cute. Alright, well it is already 1 o'clock, which is typically when I end stream, but like I kinda wanna work on the Riolu. The Riolu might take a while. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's start the Riolu. Okay, let me put this over on my little drying shelf. I like it. See, from afar you can't tell that it's painted. Oops, sorry. I bumped the camera. Let's take a look at this little lad. This is gonna be a tricky one to do. And honestly, I don't even know that I know what I'm gonna do for it. I'm grabbing my big palette, but honestly that has even more paint on it. It's fine, we'll use the big palette. Because at least it doesn't have wet paint on it. I guess maybe we just start mixing some colors? I know we're gonna need a lot of blues. I do not know if we're gonna be able to finish this today, I will say that much. We certainly are going to do our best, though. Nice thing about using darker colors for this one, though, is that it means that we will have to do less layers to get good coverage, which is always nice, always appreciated. It saves me some time. That's definitely more blue than purple. I'll have to go back over that part. Use my like out of the tube blue for this part. I think is going to be the closest match. Still needs to be a little bit darker, but I don't really know that I have the resources to make it darker. Like I said, I don't have black right now. And that is very much giving blue mixed with a bit of black, so... We're just gonna do the best we can to kind of follow that gradient, and we'll see what we end up with. This part looks like it has like some plants and stuff overlaying it, so I don't know how much I need to worry about it. It's at a Dutch angle, it's at like kind of that sideways slant, so I don't know. Let's block out some mountains first, shall we? I'm gonna leave room for his little foot. There is going to be a whole lot of layering involved in this. We're almost gonna fisheye it a little bit, I feel. Like I'm gonna bend the scenery up around this side. Okay. There's something here. There is a start. I'm trying to just, like, remove my anxiety by just, like, going for it. Just going in and doing the thing and see. But I'm, like, I'm still very worried that I'm gonna ruin the card. Okay. The other side of this mountain is over here. It looks like there's almost like a lake kind of coming through here with the way that that sky color is being reflected. So I kind of want to make like a very soft pink like that to kind of fill out the rest of the water. Like kind of pinky purple. Let's see if we can actually capture that. Oh good, I already had some blue in this brush, so it's kind of just made the color on its own. It needs a little more red. So let's add this kind of here. The perspective on this is weird with the tilt. We'll kind of come in like this. And then maybe like a deeper purple for the kind of shore. Everything is really rendered in these very like cool purpley blue colors. So I don't want to stray away from that because I think it'll make it look weird. There's a little bit of yellow to the lighting that I can come back on top afterwards and add, but for now we're gonna do it like this. And I'm keeping my brushwork very loose because it makes me feel more confident. It's kind of a blur even with like what we can see of the background. Hard to tell what is going on. We know for sure that we can see like flowers and stuff, so I'm definitely gonna render a lot of those into the foreground. I think keeping this gradient here is probably okay for now. This one is very different from the Applin because I'm not really copying a pattern. I'm kind of having to make up the rest of the scene. And that's kind of a struggle. Well, I guess I need to color match the Riolu's foot, so maybe we should do that next. I don't know what color it really is. It's like kind of a blue-gray. I don't know what to call that. We're just gonna start with something and see. It's too purple. That definitely needs a lot more blue to it. Yeah, I feel like this is one that maybe would have been helped by having some black here. You're not supposed to like shade with black only, but like definitely some of this stuff has been tinted. Or at least like the easiest way to match it would be by just like tinting the stuff that I'm using with a bit of black. We're gonna do that for now. Fill out the rest of the sky here. Okay, we're really gonna need to make like a bright magenta for this part. Go. Just like a little sliver of the sky, but it's important. It's important to me. There. We do have a start. The color matching for this one is, I think, going to be really difficult for me. I'm already noticing that. Matching purples, already really difficult. And there's a lot of purple and blue and that kind of stuff going on with this one, so I'm like, oh, I'm already feeling a little bit lost. And I really think I need black for this card. I don't know how far we're going to be able to get on this one, guys. We'll at least keep blocking out like the clouds and this little sky pattern that we've got going on, which is the reason I like this card so much. That's like the fun part. That's what I was excited about painting. Okay. Let's continue the little like swoosh pattern, whatever that is there that we've got going on. And there's a little bit more cloud behind it here. Okay, maybe this bit needs to be sky instead of mountain. I think that's probably a good idea. There, that's cute. The light's at least helping me feel a little bit happier about this. Okay, let's add a little bit more blue over on this side and turn it into more sky. That means that we're gonna have to keep everything at like a true tilt. So it's gonna be really dramatic, actually, I think. Because the mountains are instead gonna be down like here. But then, where's that plant coming from? I don't know. I don't know if they thought about this when they made the card, which to be fair, they didn't need to, because it's not, like, the art doesn't continue past the edge. But it makes it really weird for me when I try and figure out what I'm doing. How could they? I am just like wet mixing things, so I'm just like mixing the paint while it is already on the canvas, or the card, I guess in this case. Which can often make like some really cool blendy effects. I am very much relying on the super loose brush strokes to make this card look cool and cohesive. Whoops. Oh, yikes, sorry about that. Okay. Let's lean into the pink on this like watery bit that I've got going on for a minute here. Because I think I will commit to making this water. Which means that I need to figure out how the surface of that is gonna work. I'll start by just like blocking it off with some pink. Okay, there's that. And then I definitely want like some yellow and some red for doing on the surface of it, like making those reflections and stuff. Red for the shadows, yellow for the highlights. Rendering water is really weird. I think, for me at least, the less I think about it, the better. This is gonna remain very messy. I don't know what I'm doing. Please, highlights, save me. I think I maybe did too much red. I think that might be the problem here. Well, among other problems, but I think right now that's kind of what's messing with the water for me. So it's just hard to make good water when it's pink. Okay. We'll keep that for now. I don't know how much more of this I feel confident to do, like, right now. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. I don't want to, like, force myself to keep going if I'm like, oh, I'm not liking how it's looking. I'm worried about it, so we'll see. We'll see how much longer I go. Have been like kind of scarce on stream, so it's like I do kind of want to do a longer stream, but at like the same time I'm like, oh no, I don't know how this painting is going. Maybe if I just keep working with it, I'll feel a little bit better about it. The clouds are fun. I'm liking doing those. Yeah, these are coming along all right. That part's nice. That part's fun. I kind of like the brush marks in this purple bit up there. It looks kind of spacey. Kind of fun. So I'm gonna leave those alone, honestly. I'm not gonna try and cover them up. I like the way they look, so we're gonna embrace them as a part of the painting. There we go. That's cute. I do like that. This, I definitely need to blend out a little bit better, because that's supposed to be like a little bit more purple. Here. Oop. Nope, I made it worse. There we go. and then it goes into that blue. So we're kind of covering that, like, those blades of grass there. And I would like those to still be visible, so I will have to bring those back in a minute here. Okay, I'm gonna do something that's maybe a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna do it with the Posca. Maybe I should have waited a minute to do that. That paint is definitely still wet, so let me hold on for a sec with that. That's my bad. Yeah, I think we're gonna fill the foreground with like some more plants and stuff, so I don't have to worry too much about like whatever's going on with the ground. Because honestly, I do not understand what's going on here. I cannot think of anything else really that would be going on with it, so I'm kind of just gonna add some texture to it, and then we're gonna cover it up. Because the point here is more like Riolu and his cute little jump, so we'll try and place more emphasis on that. And I'm even gonna cover up some of this water with some purple, because I want everything to kind of blend. I am very much winging it here, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I don't know. I think the water maybe wasn't my best idea. Just do that. I kind of just hide it like that. This way of rendering the ground I am having a lot of fun with, though. This is kind of cool. At least this card like lends itself very well to doing quick brush strokes and fun stuff like that. So that part I am very much having fun with. Add some here. Just for some highlight. Okay, that's starting to look okay, I think. There is definitely something here, and I do like it. It is getting somewhere. I was very worried about it for a minute there, but I'm starting to see. I'm starting to understand my own vision. Let's paint some like teeny tiny little stars. I think the stars are all in blue is what's going on here. I was like, should I add some yellow and some pink? But I think they're all in blue, so I'll keep them consistent with the card. I'm gonna add a few more clouds in this part. It's starting to feel really plain over here. Some of these are gonna get covered up by plants and stuff, but I want that to be there as like the background still. I think that's still the best plan. Best course of action. As you know, they'll probably still peek through the plants. So I think that is the way to go. Trying to make like a nice pink for these clouds again because I'm out of the first batch that I used because I made so little. Okay. And then a little bit of the yellow. I don't know if I even really got yellow in there. Okay, there we go. Might be a little bit strong. It's okay. We'll deal with it. I'm just gonna blend more pink into it, honestly. Yeah, it gets a little muddy, but, you know, it'll be a backdrop to some plants in a minute, so that's probably okay, right? Okay. I have some more of this very light blue, the baby blue. We're gonna add some more little sparkles. Just because I think they're fun. Yeah, the Riolo very much is glowing. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that glow around the little bottom of his foot. Color match there was not very successful, but it's okay. It's the thought that counts. And I want to give him actually some little stars closer to him while he's jumping. Ooh. I'm very sneezy today. It's finally starting to feel like spring, and I think my allergies are catching on to that. They've been very sneezy the past week. Having too much fun doing the little stars. They're so cute. I think honestly having them kind of be throughout this little field here is a really nice little touch. It is, in fact, my card. I can just add extra stars like this if I want to. And I think that's what I want to do right now. Is add some cute extra stars out even in this field. Honestly, the way I painted the field with like the very brush strokey method has made it kind of look like a field like of grass glowing. And I think, I don't know, I think it's actually starting to work. I want to do some pink and some yellow as well. I know I said I wasn't going to add extra stars and extra colors. I lied. I want to do it now. I'm having fun with doing the sparkles, so I am not going to take that away from myself. Especially because the shot is starting to feel so dynamic with all of these little sparkles. Ugh, I love it. It's like everything kind of has that upwards momentum. So yeah, why not add more? I think I'll keep like the big stars blue, but I'll do like sparkles like this in the pink and yellow as well. I'm starting to really like this card. Okay, I'm glad I didn't give up on it. We're gonna actually try some of the yellow we mixed for the Applin. I think that might work better. Oh, sorry. That one looked bad. Keep accidentally bonking my camera with my paintbrush. It's not my intention. I am very sorry. Guess that's one of the drawbacks of having it so close to the card is it's a lot easier to bump. Gonna add some extra colors to the stars, at least these two in the front. Everything else is too far back to render. It's starting to look like confetti, and I am very much a big fan of this. Look at that! It's starting to look really good. It's definitely very different from what I thought I would be doing with this card, but I think when I sat down with it, I kind of realized, like, oh, it's, like, kind of hard. There's not a lot going on outside of what's actually in the scene, so we very much had to make up a lot. But, I mean, that's a good creative exercise too, right? So... I'm gonna add some very subtle strokes with this brush. Because I said it looked like a very flowy field of grass. So I want to just emphasize that, like, a little bit. It's already coming across very well without me trying, so I don't want to, like, overdo it, but... definitely, I think just, like, a little bit might be cool. And I'm gonna come back in with that Posca pen as well and add some of that kind of detail. I think that's enough. I definitely don't want to ruin it by accident. Yeah, it's good. We're gonna leave it like that. Okay. Let's come back in. Let's add some more of the grass. Bring that back in there. Posca's kind of watery. I guess I did try and, like, steal the paint, ink, whatever from it earlier, so that's probably why, but... I don't know what's going on with this one. Gonna have to be, like, really tall. No, you know what? It kind of looks cool. Plant has definitely got, like, a lot going on here, but I want, like, the body of it to match what's going on with the top, so need to add lots of little branch outs and all of that kind of stuff. We're gonna make it go behind this front star because I am very attached to this star right here. I don't want to get rid of it. And honestly, this corner of the card is, like, getting so dark that you can't even see what's going on, but... But yeah, I think actually the grass shadows are... Oops, that's stripping the paint a little bit. Recover that back up. I think the grass shadows are very helpful here, very helpful to the composition. They look quite pretty. Oh, although I am stripping paint a little bit, which that part is not so good. I won't do any more than that on this one, just because I don't want to tear away any more of the paint on the card, because that would maybe be disastrous. Going into this side here, which, yeah, the black doesn't pick up so well on the camera for this side, but I promise I am doing stuff. I probably shouldn't overdo the black. I feel like I'm already kind of getting close to overdoing it, so I'm gonna stop there, I think, with it. I don't know, this card is maybe getting close to complete. That one didn't take me anywhere near as long as I thought it maybe would. But I guess because I did so much like brush stroke stuff, it was quite easy. I want to add like a little more. I'm gonna just do, I think, a little bit of pink on the edge of some of these branches or like leaves and stuff here, all of that good stuff. Just have that like little bit of catch. Not even on like every leaf, just on some of them. Hard to keep that thin. But I think it looks very pretty, so I am happy with that. And be very gentle with it, but it's always a little tricky. Okay. We keep it brushy, it's fine, right? I like it. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. It means that you can actually see where those blades of grass are on the left side here. I want to clean up the highlight around the foot here. And I'll wait for that to dry for just a minute, and then I'll I'll grab, oh good, I do still have the line art pen right here. I'll add a little bit of a line with that. And then after that, I think it's done. Which, that's pretty good. I like it. I was, I was really, really worried that that wasn't gonna turn out, but I think actually, I trusted the process and it paid off because I quite like this one. Little guy, look at him. And now let's come in with a little line art pen. The paint is definitely not completely dry, but it's fine. There we go. I just needed to do that tiny little bit, so it's all good. And look at that! That's so pretty! We did that in like, I don't know, like 45 minutes-ish? That's pretty impressive. Especially considering how long the applin took me. Aw, I like it. It looks really good. Okay, let me grab the other. There's the little lineup. The Sprigatito's kind of covered, but that's okay. I'm gonna so you can see the applin. I'm happy with that. I think there's very much progress in these. And I will say I think we're gonna do more of this next week. I do have 2 more cards that are all primed and ready to go. It would be a shame to not use those. So we'll do those next week. I might do another long stream and we'll do some additional stuff in the sketchbook because I'll be more prepared. I'll order those I'll order some card sleeves so we can actually like turn a page of the sketchbook into a Pokemon card binder. But yeah, for now those are those. I am quite happy about that. So yeah, had a good painting day. It was a very fun stream. Let me hop over to this. And I will wrap us up for the day. I'm gonna go clean my nice little brush because the last thing I want to do is accidentally ruin it. Especially because it was kind of expensive. So, thank you very much for sticking around today if you did, or if you just hopped in like 5 minutes ago, still thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out, having fun with me. Yeah, I've been wanting to do homework streams, but honestly, I can't really do them right now, so it's gonna be just a Sunday stream again next week, which breaks my heart. I miss you guys, but it'll be okay. I'll survive. I will see you on Sunday. I think we will do more Pokemon card painting, unless some other genius idea of mine comes up. I think that's gonna be the plan for next week. Stream schedule goes up tomorrow on Blue Sky and Discord. If you want some extra community stuff, you should join the Discord. The Discord is fun. I think that's all I've got. Socials are down below if you want those. Follow here if you want to see me more. I would love to have you around. And I hope you all have a fantastic week ahead of you. I hopefully will see you next Sunday for more Pokemon cards. Thank you guys. Bye.